So the power of choice is not totally suspended by hypnosis.
No, no.
The examples I'm sure that come to mind are the sensationalized Broadway shows and such.
Right.
I am a master hypnotist, and I've never been to one of these shows, so my apologies to anyone doing those. But what I've heard reports of is that they get volunteers from the audience and get them up on stage doing all these things that sometimes seem to cross boundaries in terms of behavior or public disrobing or all sorts of things.
Right. It's kind of like the...
That's the abuse of the craft, I would say.
Yeah, and it's for entertainment purposes, and if someone is going to that kind of a show, I mean, it's difficult to imagine that someone would be caught off guard that, oh, they do this here? I mean, if someone's going to that show, I think they're going...
So by being in the audience... You're already predisposed to that suggestion.
And then it's kind of like the inebriated person who will dance a jig on a table in a bar that...
Okay.
If this is on some level, this is fun for you, and you're okay with maybe doing embarrassing things, but it's funny that.
Well, there may be some mischievous part of you that always wanted to do that, and all the hypnotist in that case did was let it out into the light.
Right.
So they really didn't make them do anything that wasn't already present as a seed somewhere in their mind?
Right. In my training, they kind of test to see how far you can be pushed and, what you'll do. And I definitely had lines, nope, not going to do that. That's
okay.
So trust yourself. Trust yourself that you have controls within yourself. You're not turning that control over. You maintain that control.
Well, and as we said earlier, if you have a tape recording of the whole session, that's all the more way for you to verify afterwards that nothing, for that matter, if you wanted to, I would think any competent therapist would allow for videotaping.
Sure, if that was something, if you desired that, absolutely.
Yeah, that way...
It's your session.
It's your session. It's absolute proof that nothing unseemly happened. It's a way to, if that concerns you at all, a way to create safeguards.
Yes.
Because the whole point of it, as we keep coming back to, is personal growth. What memory, story, imagination, whatever, is going to serve your emotional and psychological growth at this point. But to think that this is some exotic new thing that hasn't existed before, or that it's demon possession, it seems like quite a stretch.
It's unfortunate because it's one of the greatest gifts you have is to understand yourself better. You've come here in this life. Hopefully you're going to grow in wisdom. You're going to grow in compassion and love. And if someone is putting you in a little tiny box and telling you not to think, not to experience, not to know yourself is... It's wrong.
And I guess they would say, why would they want that? Why would they want that? Because if someone wants you to be controllable, I think you have every reason to question their motives and agenda.
Absolutely.
If they do not adequately value your own thoughts, your ability to discern, your ability to perceive and understand, granted, there are people who are more and less advanced in terms of their knowledge and experience. I don't believe that anyone is categorically or inherently superior or inferior to anyone else.
Right.
Even the most advanced, by whatever criteria, however you measure advancement, even someone who is severely advanced, if they're human, they can still make mistakes. The greatest spiritual leaders can still totally screw up and be deceived on certain points at certain times. We all have our breaking points. We all have limits. We all have perceptions that we act on. The point of the show is to encourage people to act on their perceptions in empowering ways. Ways that are personally and spiritually empowering. Any final thoughts as we close down our wonderful half hour together?
I just would hope that anyone who's interested in knowing who they are on a deeper level, it's fun, it's an adventure, and I would hope if they have an interest that they pursue following that interest.
And it would seem that they only have lots of things to gain.
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing to be lost.
No.
Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Sister Who.